Okay, it looks like our guy Ben Mbala is in the house, so let's bring him in. Big Ben, my guy, how are you?
I'm great, brother. I'm great. Sorry about the delay. I was
No,
driving and I had to look for like somewhere to park.
no problem at all. Thank you, man. So, where are you? You're a man, the international man of mystery. You're off Instagram. You're off social media. No one. Look, to find your number, I asked like a few people. I'm like, where is this guy, Ben Mbala? Then I reach out to you. Happy to hear you are in France. You're in a little town, an adorable little town, right? What's it called?
It's called Toulouse.
Toulouse. Okay, okay. How beautiful is it? I mean, should we all just move there because life is beautiful there?
It's not really like a small town, but it's not big. It's not small. It's like in the middle, but everything's pretty decent. I can fly anytime I want. I have everything close by, and it's easy to train here during summer because here in France you have what you call hoop factory, and you can just go there anytime. You can shoot, you can work out with trainers. Life is easier. And then, since I got married, I'm with my wife, my dog, and I got a son, so I'm a little bit low key now. That's why.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, congratulations. By the way, you told me a few days ago that you have a kid now, and it's really changed your life. So major props. What's that like being a father to a little boy? Maybe a little version of you. I mean, that must be a whole change in life perspective, right?
You ask yourself a lot of questions. You think about the future of your son. You want to make sure it's going to be all right in the future. You want to make sure he grows up the proper way. I don't judge what's happening in society right now, but there's a lot of unethical stuff happening. Like men wanted to be women, women wanting to be men, and they're being taught that it's cool. That's something that worries me a lot. But I'm glad things are going well. I'm trying to introduce him to sport as well because it's very important. And I also want him to know where he's from, where his father is from. So probably when he gets a little bit older, we're definitely going to visit Cameroon. But the good thing about it is seeing his grandmother came to visit, his aunt came to visit. So, you know, I think he's going out the proper way.
That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that, Ben. And we have a comment here from Milk Sir. It says, as an Athenian, we respect the fuck out of you, Big Ben. So people here still remember what you did. We are going to take questions for Ben and Bala. We have about 30 minutes with him, so send them our way so I can start asking it. Ben, I have to ask because a lot of people have been curious about this recently. Would you be open to playing as an import in the PBA here in the Philippines again?
Definitely, I've had people ask me that question so many times. And I always said yes because I like the Philippines and all that. But at the end of the day, it's not my call. If the team is interested in hiring me, then why not? Because I can't just come out there and say I want to play in the Philippines. But if nobody wants me, what do? I don't force. I'm not gonna force people's hands. So I would love to because I've been there for like almost 6 years. I have a lot of friends. I miss my teammate. I felt like it's my second home. Sadly, I've been far away from Asia because the last time I played in Korea, as soon as I was done, I had to swing by the Philippines. But being in Europe makes it a little harder because planning everything is a little bit tough.
Right, of course, of course. Maybe you need to give your old head coach Alden Ayo a call. He's coaching a team in the PBA right now.
Oh, yeah, I know that. It's like I was talking to my boy Prince Rivero, and it was like, "Oh, I think they're looking for an importer in Rich's team." And I was like, "Hey, I still have the same French number, and if someone wants to hit me up, I still have the same email. They're free to do it because it's not a player that's going to reach to a team. The teams have to reach to a player and tell them, hey, we're interested in hiring you. So
All right,
that's
all
not
right.
in my hand. Can't force anyone to hire me."
Hello to some of our usual guests, Karina, JM, Tonyo, Enzo, Basque PH, Pino, Paolo, and some of the new faces. Well, RC, a familiar face. The six visitors checking out the stream. Hope you guys can subscribe to the channel. Daily episodes and Nabs Effect on playback. Ben, and I'm going to get to some questions here from the people in a little bit. Ben, when you think about your time in the Philippines, what is the most impactful moment there? Was it winning a championship with DLSU, or was it something else?
I'll say the discipline of being patient and having to still train and make sure you, whenever your times comes, you're gonna be ready. Because you gotta understand that our younger self usually lack patience, and they made me pay for it for my lack of patience and having to sit there every game, cheer up. It was just a motivation for me. That's one of the things that really helped me out a lot. That's why nowadays, even in my professional career, you will get to countries where things will not go your way. You might face obstacle, but I just deal with it because life is not supposed to be easy. So I think I learned how to be patient and I learned how to adjust to like every type of situation I will encounter, and it has helped me all the way until today.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks for that honesty, Ben. Much appreciated. I have to ask you something. Part of that patience you had to deal with when you were in the Philippines was when you were suspended a season in the UAAP because you participated in a Ligang Labas game, so it's called. Which is funny because now actually left and right you see UAP players playing in these Ligang Labas games, and it's just so normal and so common now, and not ridiculous, but it's crazy to think that a few years ago you missed out on an entire season because of one of this. I need to ask, when you spoke to Boss Danding for the first time after you were caught playing in this game, and God bless his soul, of course, a great man for De La Salle Sports. Do you remember what that was like? Because a lot of people have said he was really mad. He might have thrown a pen at you or something. What was the story there?
Nah, 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 nah. People are just making up stories. He was always well spoken and very, you know, poised, and when he spoke to me, he would never raise his voice or anything like that. That's not the only time I've been in trouble in the team, but every time he was always the one, trying to calm down the whole situation. I explained him everything that happened. I told him, listen, boss, this is what I was told. It was like this, it was like that. They told me just a summer tournament. I'm not gonna get in trouble, blah blah blah. And then they just tried to fix it the best way they could. They couldn't, and then I had to wait. I had to wait. I think in the other end, he saw that the way I was putting in work during summer tournament, it was like, okay, this is worth the wait. So
Okay.
I don't know who said he threw a pen at me or anything. No, he never did that. Never.
What was
Maybe
the
the
other?
other managers around
Yeah,
him were pissed, but
right,
boss
of
was,
course.
I feel like at his age, you have so much knowledge, you so have so much patience that you learn how to deal with situation like that. So we just spoke. He told me he was disappointed. He was excited to see me play, and I just have to be more patient because right now they would try their best to make me play as soon as possible. They couldn't do it the year after, so I waited, and
What were
now it's
the
just history.
what were the other reasons you got in trouble for? You said you got in trouble a few times. What? Come on, maybe you can share one or two.
Well, I'll give you two times that it happened. One time I
Okay.
got into a fight with Abu Trotter. That's my
Okay. Okay.
brother. I love him to death. And that's for me. That's normal. Brothers fight. They get into argument. So we got into an argument. I got suspended a month.
From
I didn't train
practice.
for a month. Yeah. So I was just training on my own. A second time is when Coach Aldin Ayu got there, and there was a little bit of a clash between us. And I was probably in the bad mood or in the bad day. And Coach Aldin Ayu was really the type of coach that would get into your skin, not in the wrong way, of course, because he was just not a coach to me. I understand it better now because he was just not a coach. It was like a brother. He was teaching us about life, about being disciplined, and telling us if you want to be better than others, you got to do things that they're not willing to do. I was not used to going around at 5 in the morning every day, going to the track and field running. There's so many stuff that, with all the build up, one day I just snapped during practice and we got into it. I got a second month. They gave me one more month out. But with everything I've been through, I recognize it was my fault. I spoke to him. I apologized. We squashed it out. And, you know, now I thank him a lot. I thank him a lot for everything he taught me and everything he made me go through because looking at my pro life right now, if I didn't go through that, probably I would have probably quit already for a long time.
Mm. Very interesting and very good to know. I feel like I heard that story before, but it also strengthened the bond the team had heading into that really trying season. But you guys ended up winning the championship. Okay, let's get to some questions here. I know a lot of people want to know stuff about Big Ben and Balo. Okay, from Mike, what was a memorable dorm or classroom experience for you? Did you go? You went to class, right? You
Of
showed up in
course,
class.
I was in class. The funniest thing is I remember the it was statistic.
Mm,
It was a lady. I don't remember her name because I'm not on Facebook anymore. I hope she doesn't get mad if she sees it. She was pretty. She was very nice, and I always had good grades. And she thought I was copying.
yeah.
During the exam, she made me sit in front of her, and I think I was top five in the class. And she was
Wow.
so shocked. She was like, "Okay, I thought you were copying, but now I really know you're really doing your best to like, you know, pass." And because one thing people didn't know about me is I'm good with numbers. Like when I was in Cebu, I wanted to take accounting. That I had to like take English classes and all that. So that's why I was taking business management. So people just thought he an athlete, he doesn't go to class. No, no, no. The only thing I was struggling with in school was literature, like writing essays and all that. That was not my thing. I was good with numbers. So I'm just letting everyone know. But and then I was lucky I had good teammates, that will help me out, give me advices. If I wasn't probably there because of a game or training, they would send me the notes, or if there's homework, they would help me. Plus the team had like student manager that would help us. So that idea that people thought that just because we were athletes we wouldn't go to school. No, we needed excuses if we were not in classes, and we had this rule where you couldn't be absent more than 5 times in the class. You would fail it. Nothing was
Speaking
different with us. Nothing at all.
Speaking of accounting, Tonyo says here, Big Ben, I was so fortunate to be in DLSU at the same time as you and being your ACCTBA classmate. I think that's accounting, business
Accounting. Oh
administration.
yeah,
Yeah, accounting
that was tough.
classmate.
That was
Exactly.
tough.
So Tonyo, what did you get? What did you get, Ben? Do you remember your grade for that class? Did you get a four?
No, I was average in accounting. I'm not gonna lie to you because I struggle at remembering the accounting books and the accounting
Mm.
numbers. That was pretty tough because we had this little small booklet that we had to remember. We had to memorize, and I had to memorize my playbook as well.
Of
So
course, of course.
that's probably one thing where I struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I have to be honest about it. But aside from that, I was good with the rest of the stuff.
Interesting question here from Enzo. Did you really consider suiting up for Ateneo before joining LaSalle?
Honestly, yeah. I explain why, because there's no regret about going to LaSalle. LaSalle was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Probably the best thing in my entire college year. The reason why I wanted to go to LaSalle from the beginning is most of the veterans and the big in Ateneo were graduating. So I felt like, I would easily adjust over there because there were vacant spots that would be open soon compared to LaSalle where it was so stuck. Perkins, Van Upstar, the bear. What was his name again? We called him the bear, but it was like in Uche Andrade, it was like 4 or 5 big men. So you imagine I had to go in there. But and then I'm glad that I went to LaSalle because the best way to get better is by competition. It's by pushing each other, to the limit. And by doing that, sometimes you almost ended up fighting during training. I remember one time I almost fought with Van Upstal
Really?
because it was so
Why?
physical. Oh yeah, the level of physicality was so crazy. I remember looking at the side and looking at boss. He was laughing, like he was shaking his hand. He was laughing, like this is what I want to see. But and then you will see. I think the year they won when I was waiting with Van Upstal, Gerontang, and all that. Cause I was pushing them so hard during practice. Like Team B, we would give them hell. Like
Of course.
Coach Juno had to separate us to training from them because some of the guys were like, "Come on, they're going too hard. We're a little tired. We got games, so that's why they just send us to team. Be like, okay, we're gonna create tournaments and stuff for you guys. If not,
Damn.
But I love it. That's how practice is supposed to be. You go hard. You might fight. You might have a little disagreement after practice. You shake it off. You're good. You're good. We're going with life. It's just the love of the game. It's supposed to be hard.
So ultimately, what convinced you to go to LaSalle over Ateneo? And be honest, was it because LaSalle's offer was higher?
I gotta be honest with you guys. When you talk about offer, it's like money doesn't go to me.
Mm.
Money goes to school. The school that has been taking care of me since I got to the Philippines.
So your school in
Let,
Cebu, SW, yeah.
exactly. Let's make it clear because people will say I got money. Money doesn't come to me. I have no idea who I was signed, who got what. I'm a student. I might have probably been in better condition, probably get a better allowance every month, but money doesn't go to me because I was being the Southwestern University were taking care of me if I was sick. They were giving me a dorm to stay. They were giving me food and all that. I was going to school for free. So it's like I was the investment. And in return for me to let me go, then they probably took the best offer. But I got to Manila, people thought I got this shit load of money. No, I'm a student. I'm not a pro. Just make it clear. I don't know how other people were able to like negotiate the whatever, but it was not like that for me. I never spoke to anyone with LaSalle and say I want this, I want that. No, they just made me go visit the school. They said the conditions are gonna be better. You're gonna be in a better dorm, better level of basketball, all that better education. I was like, cool. I promised my mom I gotta go to school until if I want to play basketball, I can stop going to school. She said, fine, do you? That's it.
So you went to LaSalle over Ateneo because you wanted to compete more in practices.
Yeah.
And by
Remember,
the
I don't know if
way,
you remember
the guy you
Justin.
forgot, I think his name is Norbert Torres.
There you go. My
There
bad.
you go.
I hope
Yeah.
if you see this, Norbert Torres, you my guy. I apologize. You know, it's been quite some times. You know, I had to talk to my guy. I don't know. I played with him in Southwest and Justin Abude. He was my teammate. He's probably funny, but I'm actually with him and his family right now because we're traveling. We're going to, we're going to an amusement park.
Wow.
So right now, that's why I told you I was driving. I had to park the inside the store. So yeah.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you for taking the time to talk to me and talk to all of us, Ben. Much love. Definitely.
You want to
Okay,
see
let's get.
something real quick? Look, say what's
Yeah,
up.
go
You
for
see
it.
him? That's him there.
What's up? Nice to see him. Of course. I bet he got you some nice, delicious treats. Okay, this one, I think a lot of people really want to know. Take us through that alley oop from Thomas Torres against Ateneo. I think, in my opinion, the greatest dunk ever in the UAAP. I feel like this. Wait, I'm gonna play it on the screen. I feel like this was the greatest dunk ever in the UAP. I mean, what was going on through this play? Did you know you were gonna throw it down that hard and he was going to throw it up that high?
That high, I think it was not even that high, but it was in the back. And with the
Mm.
speed that I had, because we trained that so many times during practice and during summer leagues that I knew he was going to throw it, but backward, I didn't know. So I ran so much, I wanted to get it two hand, but I couldn't because the ball was in the back. So I was like, oh, you know what, F it. I just tried to get it with one hand. As soon as I felt the ball in my hand, I was like, that's it. I just brought it back so fast. And then, with the adrenaline of the game and all that, it just went so fast. I was like, even me myself, when it happened, I was like, wait, what? Like, and then I had to watch the video after the game. I was like, oh God, this was sick, man. Man,
That
shout out to Torres. What was his name? It's Thomas Torres. Shout out to Thomas Torres for the pass. I miss you, brother.
All right, we have a question here from Jonas Paneria, who is from Cebu. Dong, what was your best memory of Mango Avenue in Cebu?
Ah, like, this is funny, but when I travel, I was not drinking. I was not going clubbing. I didn't know anything about nightlife. And, when and then you discover that you don't have your parents being behind you, telling you not to go out, not to do this, not to do that. It was pretty fun. But I think the most memorable things that I did was Sinulog. They have to pass through the Mango Avenue. It was so nice. Like I was so shocked by the culture, the dresses and all that, the costume that people were wearing, the dancing. That's something that I'll never forget. Like if I could just fly in there just for Sinulog, I would love it. It's really
Awesome.
nice.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's see if I missed any more questions here. We have a few more minutes with Ben. Of course, we're very thankful he's joining us, even if he's about to go on an amusement park, right? With family and friends.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. What were some really lasting memories from the 2016 and 2017 UAAP finals for you? Because 2016, you guys win. Jeron wins finals MVP, you win league MVP. You guys close Ateneo out in 2 games. The next season, Ateneo wins game 1. It looks like they're going to sweep, and then you guys have this epic comeback in game 2. And then game 3, it goes down the wire. Ateneo just ends up making 2, 3 more winning plays, and they win the championship. So, what were your main takeaways from those 2 final series that come to your mind right away?
Right away is the atmosphere of the games. When you think about Ateneo LaSalle already, regular season game is already crazy. So imagine the finals. Those are things that sometimes when I just sit, I think about it. Like you look around, you see blue, green, and white everywhere, and then it's just those are things that you cannot forget. Sometimes in my pro career, like my teammates were like, "Oh, it's gonna be a lot of people." I'm like, "That's not a lot of people." I've played games with a lot of people. Trust me, I couldn't even hear my teammates speak. The intensity is like sometimes things happen, like you're right there, but you don't realize that you're right there. Because I've been on both sides. I've been on the court and off the court watching. And the way I was already feeling off the court, like being on the court sometimes, if you're not someone strong minded, you're not gonna be able to support that type of atmosphere. If you're not ready for the big moment, you're not gonna be able to step up. That those are things that help you in your career. Like, come on, I played a game in front of 15,000 people. I can do anything else, and it was televised. Probably 100,000 more were watching, or probably more. So you're like, what else can I do? I can play anywhere. That's why stuff like that. After playing my first final, I went with the national team. I was like, come on, man, I can do anything now because I waited so long. I learned how to be patient. I played games with 15,000 people. I can do anything. It's like it gives you so much confidence to like moving forward into your career and doing stuff that you have no idea.
Absolutely. Great point there by Big Ben and Bala. There's something I want to ask. There was a time also, I think it was your first season in LaSalle, where you had to be accompanied by bodyguards to the game,
Oh
out
yeah.
of the game, even in school. And they were with you everywhere you went, but for good reason. I believe it was protection, maybe because some people had approached you about throwing a game. Was it? What's the story there?
It's like I started getting random text messages about throwing games. Like they're
Like
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 they
people
tell me
telling
to
you to
shade
throw,
points.
yeah.
They asked me to like shade points and rebound. I don't know. I probably averaging 20 plus point, 10 plus rebound. They were like, stay under 20, stay under 10 rebound. That's all we want. I was like, nah, this is not me. I've been through hell to be here. I've been very patient, and I'm not that type of guy. Nothing's been easy for me. Money will come with time. I turned pro and all that. So, no. So I told boss, I had 2 bodyguards everywhere. Like when I was even dating, if I go see someone, they will go in and check first. Like, is everything okay? Okay, you can go. You either sleep here or we wait for you. It was crazy. It was funny.
Wow. How many months did you have 2 bodyguards with you wherever you went?
I think until the whole season, until the season was over.
Even the season after that?
No, the season after that. No, it was the second season on the first season. It was the second,
I,
right?
I think it was the first, right? I'm not sure.
Hold on,
Maybe.
real. But I just know they were with me until the end of the season of that season.
But the messages you got from people telling you to shave points, did they threaten you like if you don't do this, we're gonna find you and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't answering at first, and then which those the type of people when you don't answer, then they get a little bit annoyed and aggressive, and then start escalating. Because in the beginning, I was like, fuck off, you know. Sorry about
Yeah,
that. I'm not fucking cuss. But and then at a point I was like, I had to like talk about it with the team because I don't want it to spin it and say, oh yeah, we send him, we got it, we gave him money and all that. So I told it to coach, and then coach contacted boss, and then
I see. I see.
ended
It's
up in
good
that
though.
situation.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, let's get to some questions here. Oh, this is good. Who is your Mount Rushmore of UAAP FSAs?
You know,
So you
I'm
have to
not very
put yourself there.
I'm not the type of guy that we go into, the best player, because I believe generations are different. Type
Mm,
basketball evolves all the time, and I don't want to get into. Oh, I was there. I'm never gonna put myself on one of the best players. I'm just happy enough I was able to like impact some young kids who want to play basketball and chase the dream. But for me, of course, Ren Richarlo. I know I've heard so much about him. I've watched his highlight and everything. Who else? Because for me, I'll probably mix them. I might be very bad with the names right now, but I'm trying to think. My coach in La Salle, what was his name? June Limput.
mm,
Limput.
mm,
That's
mm.
that's two. I'd throw Kiefer in there,
Of
Ravenna,
course.
and I'll probably also throw Ray Park.
Okay, nice. Smooth game for NU, exactly. Do you ever wish you got to go up against guys like Ange Kwame or Malik Diouf though? They were the FSAs after you who would win MVPs in the UAAP.
At this point, as an athlete, you always want to go against the best. You know,
Mm,
so of course I wanted to, but but if you get into stuff like that, you might lose your focus and start thinking like a fan, because fan, those are things they want to see. But you a player, you just want to focus on what you have to do, because you don't want to go into a game and be in mind like it's going to be me against him. No, basketball is 5 against 5. Okay, you probably have to do more. You probably have to be more focused, but it's always 5 against 5. I think he played in France, but I was not in France anymore. I think I have his number. We talk from time to time. Angelo Kwame. I don't know if he's still
nice.
playing in France right now, but I think the season is over.
Yeah, he's playing in Taiwan right now with the Philippine team.
Oh yeah, like I'm really trying to. I might go back playing in Asia because I really miss Asia. Europe is taxes are pretty crazy here. Taxes.
well, well, where in Asia would it be the Philippines?
I've had opportunity in Japan and Taiwan. I couldn't go to Japan because of the COVID things, and they were very, very strict.
I
And
see.
Taiwan, same thing happened, because I heard it was this China thing with Taiwan, and my agent was a little bit worried about sending me there. But this is still a summer. I'd rather take my time before signing, so I'm still talking to my agent about where I would probably want to go. But at the same time, I want to stay in here with my family, but at the same time, I want to maximize in my career and having the best contract possible, where I can earn the more possible. Because
Absolutely.
I'm about to be 30 next year. I turned 29 last July 13. So you know, for me, I'm trying to push until 35, 36, because I want to spend time with my family. Because the traveling everywhere all the time, sometimes they cannot follow me, and there's a lot of loneliness. So if I can push
Of
until
course.
35, 36, that would be good for me.
Fantastic. We
But
have
hey,
about
the Philippines is still in my mind. But you gotta understand, if I'm not being called, I can't do nothing about it.
maybe we just need to find a way to get your number out there. If anyone wants to know, if anyone has legit curiosity, hit me up. I might be able to connect you with Big Ben and Bala. Okay, we got about 5 minutes left here with the UAAP legend. Okay, Ben, what's your height without shoes? Pino wants to know.
198.
So that's meters. So 198 meters. You are about wait, no. That's how do we
And is it
the
centimeters or
inches?
meters?
7 no centimeters. Yeah, so about 6'5". Sorry, my math went away there for a second, guys.
But
Thank you,
with
Pino.
shoes, I'm 6'6", so it doesn't really matter.
Yes, sir. And you can jump really high. You still got your hops. How do you think? you would fare against Junmar Fajardo?
I'll be pretty fine. I played against Slaughter. I didn't
Mm,
struggle.
I
I played
see.
against the guys in UAP was so big. What's his other name? The guy against who I played in FEU, Orizo, pretty big.
Okay, yeah.
Poppy Saw, pretty big. I was way smaller than them, but it's all here.
What was your favorite UAP game that you played?
My favorite UAP game, like, well, it's probably against Ateneo. It's always going to be Ateneo. Those games are always special, always. You know,
So, what if I told you someone from Ateneo, like let's say a really good player from Ateneo, would move to LaSalle, move schools to LaSalle, or vice versa? Someone from LaSalle moves to Ateneo. Are you of the mindset that that's okay now because it's the new generation? Or to you, does that rivalry still mean something that you can't just shift like that?
I'm sorry to say this, but you can't. It's like in soccer, you can't play for Madrid and then try to go to Barcelona. You
Mm.
know, you can't. For me, is as a player, you do what's best for you. But then, I don't think maybe in high school when you're still in high school, yeah. But if you've already been in college and you want to shift, that's not the thing to do. I don't think so.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, we're taking more questions here for Ben. Okay, here, Ben from Francis. I remember during the 2017 season, you missed some games because of national team duties. Just want to ask, how did it feel being the national team while still being a college basketball player? And how come you're not so active recently with the Cameroon team anymore, Ben?
Well, when you play basketball, one of the highest honor you can have is to represent your country. And I had to like sit down with the management of DLSU to get the approval to let me go with the national team. When they gave me the blessing, I was like, this was meant to be. I went there with freedom of mind, and I enjoyed my time. Concerning the national team, is I've been through a lot of coaches. Coaches have their preferences. They have the players that they want to call. Who am I to like? I've been with like 5 different coaches. Maybe this one has a different optic. He sees the game differently. He has different players in mind. I respect that. It gives me more time to spend. It gives me more time to be with my family. So, but I'm still cheering up. I always watch the game. I'm still in touch with the guys. I ask them how everything is going and all that. But it's not my call. If I'm not being called, it doesn't. It's like in Team US, there's so many good players. Not everyone can get called. If I don't get called, I respect that, but I still cheer up for the guys.
Absolutely. Great mindset there. Again, a few more questions. I mean, a few more minutes. So if you guys have questions for Ben, send them to the chat box. You guys can also come to the stage and ask him directly if that's what you're interested in. What's it like, Ben? This is a question for me. When you are the kings of the UAAP, when you're playing for LaSalle and you're winning championships and you're winning games and you're beating teams by 20, sometimes 30 points, and you're the MVP and you're the best player, and everyone's singing your praises at that point, right? What's life like when you go to classes every day, when you hang out around Taft Ave, when you go to Sherwood on Thursday nights in Taft, when you go out on the weekends and you see friends? Does everything just feel like nothing can go wrong at that point?
I will say you gotta keep you gotta you gotta stay humble because if you start to have a big head, it's not gonna help you. That's when you start hanging out with the wrong people, start making mistakes, and that's where the downfall comes from. And you gotta be disciplined. That's why I told you I learned patience with the 3 years I've been waiting because you see the mistake you've done, you see how far you've come from. So I just wanted to make sure when I get called or do whatever I have to do, I wanted to go to class, make sure I'm doing good in class. And, I want to be nice with everyone in school. If someone wants photos and whatever, it takes nothing to be nice with people. You don't have to be big headed. You don't have to treat people, look down at them. That's not the way I was raised. So I just wanted to be humble and be a regular guy. That's it. I can go to Top Avenue, hang out with a regular student. I just didn't want to be the guy always, big headed. No, that's not the way I was.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, good question here. Any Coach Alden Ayos stories that you haven't shared yet?
No, but aside from the fact that he was like a big brother, he taught me a lot. Like I said in the past, we had our disagreement, but and then we were able to squash it off for the best of the team, and we grew up from it. You know, he can lift, he can work out, he can go to the gym, squat heavy, bench press heavy. That's something you all need to know. And I love his car, by the way. He knew how to dress. He had a nice car. So, as an athlete, that's probably how you want to be when you're done with your career. Like, you want to still be looking good, dressing nice. He had a Mustang, if I'm not mistaken. So, he was a cool coach. It was like a big brother.
He did have that Mustang at the games. You'd see it in the parking lot, you'd see it in campus sometimes. And
Yeah.
he lifted as heavy as you guys were, maybe even heavier,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, but he couldn't
Wait.
run with us, though.
Ah.
That's different. That's different. Come on.
could he
Right.
uh could he match you guys during nighttime hangouts?
Sometimes we hang out. Sometimes. But,
Mm-mm.
it was someone that would take times with the details. Sometimes we would go out, we'd come back at 2, 3 in the morning. They're still out there working on games, watching games, thinking about. Sometimes I would come back from drinking. He would call me and say, "Come on, Ben, come watch this. You think this can work?" I was like, "Come on, man, seriously, coach." It was someone who really pays attention to details. So I really learned a lot from him, man. If ever he sees this video, I want him to know that I'm very, very thankful for everything he taught me on and off the court. I'm really grateful for that.
Francis said that red Mustang passing by Agno on a normal school day captured the attention of everybody. Those were the days at DLSU. Nowadays, it's a little bit different. When you come to the Philippines, you'll have to visit LaSalle, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. I go to OSD, try to say what's up to everyone.
I think if you walked around campus, a bunch of people would recognize you, probably, right? Even if it's a new generation of fans.
I don't know. We'll see. Because that's something that I'm planning on doing. Maybe in a year or two, I'm planning on visiting. Just, I couldn't do it this summer, but sooner, I'm sure I'd visit. Like, if I play the Asia again, I'm definitely stopping by the Philippines before leaving. Definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, we've taken up a lot of your time. Ben and Bala, everybody joining us. Thank you so much, Ben. I hope you guys have a good trip. I wish the best for your career and stay in touch. Yeah, because I feel like we're going to see you play basketball in Asia again soon enough.
I hope so. You all take care. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure, brother.
Thank you, Big Ben.
Hey, take care. See ya.